Hi and welcome back to the channel. Sorry I missed last week, the weather's just been horrendous, but this week we're back into action. Now I want to talk to you today about shoulder plane and how working on this can drastically improve your flight of the ball and possibly stop you from hitting hooks or pushes out to the right. It's a really important part of the game to work on, so come on, let's go do it. Okay, so shoulder plane. Now this is something that's I've been recently putting together a package which I'll, hopefully going to help golfers break 80 on the golf course and build them a golf swing that's going to become more reliable. Now this has helped me to go back through my records and through the data bank in my brain. And one of the things that you really need to work on, I've been working on it myself because I've really let myself slip on this one, is how my shoulders function during the swing. Now often we talk about hips, and that's often the most driven thing in golfers, talking about the hips and how they function and turn the hips as quick as you can to get speed, and yes, I agree with all those things and so on. But sometimes the club path is often caused by the shoulders and how the shoulders move, and if we don't function and move those correctly, you're never going to be consistent. Now the most common fault that we tend to see, well, there's two faults really. You're either going to be too high with the right shoulder, or your left shoulder is going to go too high on the swing as well. Now the one that most good players tend to need, sort of mid-handicappers down, is generally the latter one, where the left shoulder works up. And this can cause common problems with swing plane, okay, with a path, and it's going to cause you to either hook the ball because you're going to roll the hands through, or you're just going to leave the face open and push it out to the right. You're going to get a double, two-way miss basically. So working on this really helps, and it helped me to go back. I used to be coached by a wonderful golf coach down where I'm from, originally from in Suffolk. And he, Mark Gillins was his name. He was the professional at Bury St Edmunds Golf Club, where I worked for 10 excellent years. Loved it immensely there. And they've just had their centenary, so congratulations, Bury St Edmunds. You deserve it. It's a great golf club. Anyway, Mark used to have me doing the drills because I was one of those. I used to be a bit leggy. So what I mean by that is I used to drive the legs too much towards the target because, reading books, Jack Nicklaus, and I had old books. I had books from the 60s and 70s, where it was all about driving the knees. They talked about how you got to drive the knees to the target and so on. This is they're going to get the club on the inside path and shallow it out and so forth. But obviously back then, balls changed. Balls they didn't spin as well and so forth. And they spun a bit too much. He was trying to take the spin off the ball and so forth, and he was trying to hit a draw and so on. So my game became a bit modelled on that, and we worked more on the upper body moving as opposed to the lower body. And I suppose you're going through the eras of Ledbetter and Fowler, I suppose, at that point, because I'm a... Hi. If you're looking to improve your golf and you really want to break that magical 80 number, you're a mid-handicap golfer, you've been struggling, you suffer with inconsistencies, not knowing where the ball's going, poor distance and so on, I've got the plan for you. I'm going to be launching very, very soon at the end of the month a plan called Break 80 Blueprint. I'm going to give you the tools necessary that's going to help you to improve your golf and break that magic number of 80. So if you're a mid-handicap golfer, this plan is for you. There'll be a link below which is going to give you more information, but listen to me, if you can break 80, your golf dreams are going to come true. From there, you can then build on that then and even start to get down to scratch. So I'm going to give you the blueprint that's going to help you to develop your game, that's going to master your golf swing and give you a lot more consistency and just enjoy the game a heck of a lot more. Wouldn't it be great if you could break 80? Just imagine that, if you could finally break 80 and beat all your friends. It's a wonderful plan. I'll be there. You'll get weekly analysis from me on the app, and you'll also get the plans in video format where you can work through them and we can ask questions and build on it from there. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you on the plan. If you really want to break 80, this is the one for you. Hit the link below and we'll go from there. Just a quick one, there'll actually only be 12 slots available on my plan as well, so make sure you get in there quick and avoid disappointment, because I'm a late 80s and early 90s golfer, and basically we worked on that, and it was helpful to go back through that, and I've been working on it just recently, and it's really helped my game immensely. So the common fault that I tend to see with good golfers especially is that when they turn back, well, ideally what we're trying to look for, let's just recap on that, what we're definitely looking for is I set my posture at a certain angle. So my posture, my spine is set at a certain angle at address, okay? So I've got to try and learn to turn my shoulders on a plane which is perpendicular to that. So it's at 90 degrees to that angle. What we don't want to have is the shoulders turning too flat, or worst of all, rocking this way. So you see the right shoulder go up too much this way. You tend to see that shifting with a hip bump to the right. We see some golfers, what they try to do is they're told they've got to turn their shoulders at the ball, and they try to get this angle here. There's a big talk about shoulder tilts and so on. Yes, agree with all that, but we don't want to see too much of a tilt. But what we're trying to work on is to turn these at 90 degrees. And one of the things I used to work on with Mark was wherever my grip was, I had to replace the grip with the club head, and I had to try and put it back into that point here. So I had a real feeling with my swing. It was a feeling as though somebody was grabbing my left shoulder and literally pulling it around to the left. So I had to feel like mine was turning flatter, because what I had a tendency to do, and I still do, this is why I get a bit too shallow on the ball, is I come around for this way. I have a tendency, because I drive the hips, because that's what I thought you had to do, drive the hips towards the target to get weight to the left. Problem is with this is it was causing my left shoulder to come up too high and my right shoulder to come under too much. So at impact, I'm no longer perpendicular to my spine angle. My left shoulder's high and my right shoulder's low, and this causes me to release the club a bit too early sometimes, and I can flip at it a bit too early, and I can catch sometimes maybe just a slight bit heavy. It's a good player's fault. And then from here, my arms work more to the right as opposed to more around to the left. Okay, so I'm really recapping on that. I really want to get a feeling of turning my shoulders on perfect plane. Okay, this can also account on the hips as well. So as I turn back, I'm going to try and turn my hips on that plane as well. I don't want to have my hips go under or over. I want to keep them fairly level on their plane. So turning your shoulders on the right plane is really, really important. And that's something that I've been rediscovering with my swing, and then I can sort of work on my hand action and release, you know, with the throw release, but do it later. I'm actually getting the ball, if nicely, for me, a bit of more of a slight gentle fade to it as opposed to more of a drawy shot. So it's been really nice to work on it, and I've been getting a much better contact on the ball. So for me, when I'm swinging back down to the ball, I'm really feeling as though somebody's grabbing my left shoulder and pulling it around. I feel like I'm coming over the top. Now, for most golfers that do come over the top, this is the last thing you want to be working on. You probably want to add in a bit more under. But again, working on the shoulder tilt, you'll probably feel that. You wouldn't feel that motion if you tend to come over the top, that is. So get that nice feeling of turning the shoulders more around. I feel like I'm swinging it around here somewhere when I swing the golf club. I've just got to then hold the wrists nicely on the way back and through. So just get that feeling of turning. I feel like somebody's grabbing my shoulders, my left shoulder and my left hip, and turning me around to the left hand side, and just letting the ball get in the way of the club face, basically. So back and through, I feel like I'm really turning through to the shot. It levels out my my swing path, so I can sometimes come in at, well, sometimes 6 degrees into out, okay, which is drastic, especially with the longer clubs, but it actually does level me out. It gets me more to sort of more neutral when I do this. And then for me, I'm then trying to hold that release a little bit, that throw release, just for that fraction longer to then release it at the right point, because I've trained this motion of releasing a bit early. It just gives me more control of the ball. So just get that feeling. I'm feeling that shoulder turn around to the left, and I'm just trying to hold the angle, just for the throw, for just a little bit longer. Okay, very good. I enjoyed that one. So it's just something to think about. Just think about the shoulders turning on plane. That way then you're going to get a much more neutral swing path, and you're going to get a really nice strike. You won't get such deep divots. You're going to get a nice sort of bruising or kissing of the grass as you swing through, and your strikes will definitely improve. Anyway, I hope that helps you. So there you have it. It's just a quick one for you today, just about turning those shoulders on plane. If you can work and master that, and how the body pivots and so on and works, you're going to have a great swing. I can guarantee you that. It's something that I've been developing with my Break 80 plan, which is coming very soon, and hopefully keep an eye on that one. There'll be a link below which you'll be able to connect onto to get more details. But basically, it's something that you need to be working on, and working on that is going to give you a much better strike. So it's something that I've learned in the plan that we would develop and work through. and we'll do it step by step from preparation to this and that, but more importantly, we'll work on the body action as well as other things. So it's really helped a lot of my golfers that are trying to break 80. I've had a few people doing it already, and already they're starting to see good success. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please go and work on that one. It'd be good to get your comments below and any feedback on how that's worked for you. Start on a T-peg, that's what I've been doing. I'm just going to build myself up to I do T-peg first and then I hit some off the ground. I was hitting a 6-iron there. You can hit whatever you like. It does translate into the other clubs as well. But start off low and build yourself up. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good week, and I'll catch you next time.